Hello, anyone that's here. I see Melanie is in the comments. So if you're here and I'm live, you hear me and everything's going okay, say hello. Put her on your, take her out there. Okay. All right, so I am using StreamYard. Oh, yay. Okay, right with Melanie. I'm glad that someone's here. I'm not talking to nobody. All right, so let me talk about the process a little bit. So as I was writing the book, I would share chunks of it with my husband. All right, so, and let me tell you guys about the process a little bit about how I was getting feedback. So I share chunks of my story that I was writing to my husband and a couple other people, a friend of mine in California, Melly, and then I would just bounce ideas off of other writers and see how it looked. Somewhat, and then there's a few people through my church that I shared it with. And there's another beta reader that I'm waiting to get feedback from any day now. Any day. But the one I want to talk about is I had ordered a proof copy of my book. And since I've ordered a proof copy of my book, I've now gone with a different cover. So the cover that's on the book I'm going to show you is not the cover that's going to be available to the general public. There's a few things I decided I'm going to change about the book cover, but I'll get into that in a minute. This person only read about half of it, and let me just start off saying that I had asked this person not to write in my book, to write it on post-its or on a note paper, and then she would give it back to me. But as you can see, they wrote in it. So I wasn't really pleased that they wrote in it. But let me just talk about the things that I did appreciate that this person wrote. She did notice that one of the characters, there's 3 siblings in my book. Right. Yeah, exactly, Melanie. Yeah, and they didn't listen. I said, don't write in my book. And if you need to write stuff down, write it on post-it notes or on paper. So, and then she offered to once I went over my notes, if I wanted her to read it some more, she'd finish reading it. But because I feel like because she didn't listen to my instruction, I don't think I'm going to hand it back to her. That's all there is to that. All right. So there were some things that I did appreciate that she did write. She did write that one of the siblings, I quoted his age earlier in the book, and then about, I don't know, a couple chapters on, I mentioned him doing going to school, which he wouldn't be going to school if I kept his age at age 4. So I'm going to change his age so that he is able to go to school, because at 4 years old, you're not going to go to kindergarten. And let's see here. She suggested that I don't have a table of contents unless I name the chapters. And then, let's see here. She didn't understand the tense I was writing it in. So the tense I'm writing it in a first person point of view, but as saying I say or he say or she say, I would What was I gonna say? I mean, she added some details in there, like she wanted to be more descriptive with the room that was taking place, but in the beginning of the book. But the beginning of the book, the main scene that I'm talking about is them falling downstairs, some steep stairs, and she thought I was talking about the steep stairs because of the house being run down and falling apart. But I mean it to mean that the stairs are steep because it's a very old farmhouse, so she wants more descriptive with that. And she wanted me to add more adverbs into the story, but um I like having strong verbs as opposed to adverbs. But that's just how we write differently. We just like different things. And some other things that she talked about was like the kids are in the car and all the kids are sleeping except for the oldest one. But then when all the kids got to a certain point, the oldest one was awake, and then the middle child was squealing to the light that they were home. But how would she be squealing knowing they were home if she was still sleeping? Let's see. I talk about a grandfather, right? More adverbs. Yeah, I didn't get that. So let me just ask you, Melanie, since you write books, she said that like my tense was wrong, like it was, like I was mixing up my tenses of my verbs. So let me just read out something to you and you let me know. Like I would say, so I'm doing first person and it's one of the siblings is main character and she's telling the story. So for one, I wrote like I wrote turning to run back towards dad. Ashley and her sisters joined as we all started walking towards the restaurant. So I'm telling it as if it happened in the past, but I'm still using action words instead of saying turning to run back towards dad. Ashley and her sisters joined and we started to walk towards the restaurant. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm using action words, but also in the past verb tense, if that makes sense. So she said that my verb tenses weren't like we're in agreement, but so I'm just wondering. Okay, so it was a lot of like blah blah blah. He said, comma, walking into the room. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm describing the action that the person speaking is doing as they're talking. So I thought that was fine. I actually shared that with a few other authors I know, and they agreed with me that it was fine. All right. And then like and then there were some parts where I used the word dad as capital, like blah 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 blah, comma, quotation mark, dad said, but other times it was just lowercase. So I know that in that case, I need to keep them both uppercase because that is his name. But if it was, hey, where's your dad? I know that would be lowercase if someone's asking about him. And then she just wanted me to like revise and reword some sentences. Like I didn't agree with it. Like So at one point, the characters are writing letters to their mom, and so it says finishing dinner faster than usual. As they finishing dinner faster than usual, I ended up helping my brother and sister write their letters, as they're younger than me and didn't know how to write as well. Feeling mad at my mother for not picking us up caused my letter to sound rather angry. There had to be some reason why she didn't come, but it had been a week and she hadn't. So she suggested I revise that. And then there's another part, which I mean, I could revise that. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet or not. But then there's another part where um, the main character is sitting at a table. So the main character says, I sat down to the table to read my book. I want to quote it correctly and make sure. All right, so another part, it said, I was I was always reading instead of playing outside with my brother and sister like they were doing at the time. Jan was working on getting dinner started, and then the character goes on to describe what Jan is doing to fix dinner. So I talk about like I was reading instead of playing outside, and then I go on to talk about how Jan, my dad's character's girlfriend, is um, the dad's girlfriend is doing dinner, and she makes comments saying you can't read and watch dinner prep at the same time, which I feel like you can read and watch stuff at the same time, or read and pay attention to what's going around you at the same time. So I didn't think that was needed to be changed. Hold on one second, please. All right. So you said you need to take a look at the sentences to see how the ed and ing words are working together. Sounds like it's being told from the first person point. It's being first person present, but then when the POV character refers to something from the past, ed verb needs to be used. That's proper grammar. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Um, okay, so yeah, I felt like she was taking things like I want something to be super literal, and then she wanted things really, really precise. But I mean, some of like the grammar stuff I understood, and some of the misspellings of things, it was good. right. So the character who's always speaking is the character's point of view that has been told through, like at a first person. All right, so I'm going to type in a sentence, and you'll let me know if it sounds odd. Okay. All right, so Melanie, I share an example of this sentence. So the main character's talking and telling the story, and telling the story, and she says, "I looked around us and spied Dad walking up to the car, causing Amber to squeal in delight." So I'm just wondering if the word causing should be in past tense. So would you say that that is a correct form of the word causing? Amber squealed in delight as Dad walked up to the car. Okay, I can see how that could be revised to be worded differently. Okay, all right. I appreciate that comment. I will work on changing up the revision so it is more showing and versus telling. That's always been hard, the showing versus telling thing. So my beta reader thought that with me using the ing words in the sentences, it was telling it in present tense, like current present tense. So then she was like, I think said, like blah blah blah. He said, comma, walking through the front door should be he says walking through the front door. The reason is showing versus telling. Okay, got it. That's right. Like I've edited a series of books, and it is so much easier for me to edit other people's work. So, yeah, it's always easier for me to spot in other people's things than my own. Okay, so then when someone is, let's say the person who's telling the story is telling what people are saying around her, would it be grammatically correct? Would it be grammatically correct to say or she says? You know what I mean? Like you're going to tell me where you put it, he said, or would it be you're going to tell me where you put it, he says? Do you know what I mean? Like, how would you dialogue take it correctly if it was first person present? So the person who's telling the story is including the actions of. Oh, okay, yeah. Which one? Oh, that one. Okay. So the person telling story is only telling what she sees around her, what she sees people doing action wise, and what she sees people visual on their face, but she has no clue as to their thoughts or emotions around them. And I will type that in. Let's see here. So that's a example. So I feel like it could be like he said, swinging the belt at me as it connected with my arm, or something along those lines. And yes, so first person from the storyteller's perspective, past tense. But I also want action there, which is why I was doing like walking and laughing, like the verbs, instead of saying walked, laughed, stared, staring, walking, laughing. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Hmm? No, you can ride around, but you can't go back to the park. Okay? Because then we got getting dark sooner. So that would be. So that, Melanie, this on here on the screen would be first person. So here's a funny thing about this book. I had originally intended to do a third person point of view, as like telling the story. but then I felt that it was a little hard to do third person. So then I changed it to be first person, but like telling the story as if it like it was happening, but still past tense, if that makes sense. If you want to write an active past tense, you could do this. Active past tense, you're going to tell me where you put it on the screen, spell at me. Okay, so having dialogue tag in past tense and then having an active verb right afterwards is what would essentially make it a active past tense. Am I telling that correctly? So with this one, you're still telling the story in the past tense, but the action's active because through the storyteller's eyes, we see him swinging the belt. Okay. So that was a hard thing with this book. I had a hard time deciding in the beginning which tense to do it in. Okay. So, all right. Dialogue tags, past tense, and then action verbs would make it active past tense. Okay. All right. It's hard. Words are hard. I'm sorry. So, when I wanted to write the story, I wasn't sure if either to tell it from the main character's point of view and have it through her eyes, or like have a third person point of view and be able to tell everyone's emotions and stuff. Oh, okay. Thank you. I don't feel so bad. Okay. And so I also throughout the book I added inner dialogue because a couple of people that read an early draft was like, I really want to know what's going on in their brain, what's going on, like what are they really thinking and feeling. So a way for me to show that, I felt a good way for me to show that was to do a lot of inner dialogue of the main character. So like the main character is between 9 and 16 years old from the beginning to the end of the story. So lots of angsty inner dialogue, kind of snarky dialogue at her parents without actually saying it out loud to her parents or to people around her friends and family. And it is amazing how much freaking typos you catch when it's in a book format as opposed to even getting it printed out on computer paper. It's amazing. Like, I'm just surprised I didn't catch all these things. I thought about it. I really did think about it. But I just felt like this first book would be good told from the oldest child's point of view and what she sees going around her. I got it in the mail last night, and I went to my worship. I'm on worship team at my church, and I took it to the barbecue appreciation thing. I was like, "Look, it's my book. I mean, it's not the cover's going to be different, but like it's my book and it has my picture on it. Like it's an actual tangible thing. It's not like, oh, I wrote a book and I can print it on paper and give it to you. Like you can buy it and put it on your bookshelf and look, it has my whole name on there. All right, so here's the thing. This font is like cursive font, and then on the back it's going to be the same cursive font, but a few people thought it would be too hard to read on the spine of the book. Like, okay, here we go. Like right now I have print, like just regular print. But I also was wondering, like, what if I use this font on the spine? Would it be like, would that be too hard to read? Too hard for people to like decipher if I use the same font, the same scripty font as I did on the spine. I would like some opinions here, please. Okay, good. Yeah, like, thank you, thank you. So you on the spine keep the print, yeah. And then the font here. So I think I might have showed you guys in the chat last night, but this cover is like my first cover is not the cover that's available now. But this does go live like it's on pre-order and you can get it released to you on the 26th, which is a week from now. So I have to have all the last minute changes as of the 22nd, so really the 21st. So what I'm going to do a little bit later tonight and then tomorrow and Tuesday, I'm going to go through and really, really like do line edits with the grammar, proofread, spell check, make sure all the tenses look okay, see if I need to reword anything. I mean, I've already added like another 1,200 words to the one that's live right now. Not live right now. And then my beta reader, the most current one, suggested that I don't have a table of contents since my chapters just say chapter 1. I mean, it's going to say chapter like O and E, like spell out the numbers. But she suggested since my chapter titles aren't named, I should just not have a table of contents. What do y'all think on that one? Whoever's watching, any opinions is good. It's fine. Yeah. You and my husband agree. Good job. Talking about the feedback that I got on my book. And she said, oh, you do? Okay. Don't. I misread your comment there. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. It's true. Yeah. So, like in this, I have this book right here. And it's fiction, obviously. And even though the titles or the chapters are all named and titled, it doesn't have a table of contents. But in this other one, this other book I have called The Children of the Guard, that's the name, and then that's the series title. It does have a table of contents. But then I was thinking, like, should it have a table of contents on the ebook version so readers can you know, jump to wherever they are in the book. So this is a 6x9, and then which is the same size as this one. Okay, so the ebook have a table of contents, and then the paperback no table of contents. Makes sense. Thank you, thank you. Also, this is like a matte cover, or I could do like a glossy cover. Put down the cat right now. So, what do you think of it? My book. So right now it is 189 pages. Yeah, I was thinking of switching it to matte just because of the feel. Right? Like, which you go with? I mean, this one's like the light. This is not mine. This is someone's. Like the light bounces off of it. This one, yeah, I really like this book. I know. I think I'll probably keep it the matte, so it's easy to take pictures of. And then also think enough of the table of contents. And I know so many choices. It doesn't help that indecisive about every decision I've ever made in my entire life. Be nice to that cat. Okay? What do you think of the size? Should it be smaller? Like should it be this size smaller? Unfortunately, this is not the cover I'm going with. Let me show you the cover I'm going with. Let's see. Okay, and then what do you think of the size of the book itself? Should the book itself be smaller? It's a 6x9 is what it is right now. Cool. Okay. So that is the cover I decided to go with. I did have that black one, then I had a different night sky one, but the file type wasn't going to work for the paperback, but it worked for the ebook. But this one is going to be the one that's on all the books. Yeah, you and Charlie and a couple of people I showed the different covers to did like this one a lot better. And I like this one because throughout the book there's a theme of travel and change, and I think this really depicts that traveling down a long road. Awesome. Good, good. Okay. Let's see. And then I think the only other thing I might change is the back of the book. I'm not sure whether to have like an author bio on it or not. Ooh, I like that. I like that um, interpretation of the cover. It's good. Okay, so would it be better to have about the author on the back, like a little blurb about on the back, or like about an author page in the paperback at the back of the book? Cool. I'll be here. Anyone who's watching, if you have any questions about anything or comments, or you just want to ask me anything, let me know. I've just been chatting about my book and the beta reader feedback, and at least been helping me with a little bit of grammar stuff, which I edit. Like I've edited books, like this book right here by this author. I've edited, like I actually edited this one. Um, but I didn't like the way that this book was formatted on the inside. Like her book, oh, you can't even see it because it's so white. Her book is on a bright white page, and my book is to be on a cream colored page. And then this other book, it's all left justified, so it's completely even with no indents. I wanted indents on mine. That's different. So I put in the link in the chat, a link to get it from booksread.com, where you can get it from any other ebook retailer. And then And then here is my About Me author page, Amazon, where I'll have all my books. Right now, it just has a Kindle up for pre-order, but once the paperback is live, it'll also have it there as well. Leave each other alone. Hannah. Okay. So bio on the back of the page, in the back of the book. Awesome. Then I'll be able to do a more wordy about the author, which I might just take what I have on my author page on Amazon and put it in there.
What's so funny? You're going hysterical. These are keys. These are keys. I just need to unlock my the shed.
Okay, to hop off here for a bit. It was fun talking, writing with you, Grayson. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chit chatting with me about it. It was really helpful. I appreciate it. I'll catch you next time. Okay, for anyone else who's watching, any questions, comments about the beta readers, or comments about, or questions about how I found beta readers, comments about how the book, anything anyone would like to know. So Tessa, I didn't really like say I need beta readers. People were just like, "Oh, your book's interesting," so then I asked if they wanted to read it. But this is what the first version of my book looked like. Since I've gotten this proof for me to look over, I have since changed the cover. I've added stuff inside. I've taken stuff from inside. Um, but but I do plan on, like you guys, whoever's here to know, I do plan on going, either posting a video, either pre-recorded or going live each day this week on Instagram and or YouTube to talk about my book. I have some ideas for maybe a giveaway. I haven't really decided how that's going to work yet, but like I might do the giveaway on my Instagram channel, and just want to get used to being on screen more, talk about my book more. I will be doing a couple longer live streams on my YouTube channel here on the date of my release. Mainly because I want to focus on something other than my release. Okay. I think I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you also for stopping by. I'm going to get off of here, get something to eat, and then put down the cat. And then work on editing my book a bit more, changes some formats and the way it lays out inside a little bit more, and hope for the best on the 26th. Thank you, Tessa. I appreciate it. There's definitely some things I could have done differently with the whole marketing and getting it known and promoting, but over my second book, I can do things a little bit better. All right. Thank you all for showing up, and I hope you have a good night. Bye.